Are pests wreaking havoc in your garden? Don't reach for the chemicals just yet. Today I'm sharing 25 amazing companion plants that not only keep pests at bay, but also boost your garden's health and beauty. But first, what exactly is a companion plant? These are plants that work together in harmony, helping each other grow by deterring pests, improving soil health, or attracting beneficial insects. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have the ultimate natural pest control plan. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about herbs. These aren't just for cooking, they're your first line of defense against pests. 1. Basil is a powerhouse herb that repels mosquitoes, aphids, and whiteflies with its aromatic oils. Its strong scent confuses pests, making it harder for them to locate vulnerable plants. Basil is especially beneficial when planted near tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants, as it not only protects them from pests, but may also enhance their flavor when they grow together. Basil thrives in well-drained soil with plenty of sunlight and pairs well with other Mediterranean herbs. It also enhances the flavor of your harvest. Basil thrives in well-drained soil with plenty of sunlight. Planted after the danger of frost has passed, spacing plants 12 to 18 inches apart to allow air circulation. Regular pruning encourages lush growth and keeps it healthy throughout the season. 2. Mint. Mint, particularly peppermint, can be used to help deter pests like flies, spiders, ants, and mice due to their strong scent, which most insects find unpleasant. You can plant mint in your garden or even use peppermint essential oil in a spray to repel pests around your home. Mint grows best in partial shade and moist soil. However, it's a vigorous spreader, so consider planting it in a container to keep it from taking over your garden. 3. Rosemary. Rosemary is a versatile and aromatic herb that serves as a valuable companion plant in your garden. Its strong, woodsy scent is known to repel a variety of pests, including carrot flies, cabbage loopers, and mosquitoes. Here's how and why to use rosemary effectively. The oils in rosemary's leaves release a fragrance that confuses and deters pests, protecting neighboring plants from infestations. While repelling harmful pests, rosemary attracts pollinators like bees, which can improve the overall productivity of your garden. Rosemary is drought-tolerant and can thrive in conditions that challenge other plants, making it an easy addition to most gardens. Choose a sunny spot with well-drained soil. Rosemary thrives in areas with full sun for at least 6 to 8 hours a day. Planted in sandy or loamy soil with a neutral to slightly alkaline pH. Add compost to enrich the soil if needed. Space plants about 2 to 3 feet apart to allow good air circulation and room for growth. Plant rosemary near carrots, beans, cabbage, or broccoli to protect them from pests. Avoid planting it near mint, as they compete for similar nutrients and space. 4. Thyme. Thyme emits aromatic oils that deter pests such as cabbage worms, whiteflies, and aphids. This makes it particularly beneficial when planted near vegetables prone to pest infestations, like cabbage, broccoli, and kale. Thyme flowers attract pollinators like bees and predatory insects such as ladybugs and parasitic wasps, which help control harmful pests. Thyme has a shallow root system that minimally competes with other plants, allowing it to coexist without depriving neighbors of nutrients. Good companion plants for thyme include tomatoes, strawberries, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, eggplants, and peppers. Thyme does well with most plants, but may not thrive with plants that require heavy watering or rich, moist soil, like cucumbers or melons. Plant thyme around the edges of your garden or between rows to create a protective barrier against pests, or scatter thyme among your vegetables or flowers to maximize pest control and attract beneficial insects. By incorporating thyme into your companion planting plan, you can create a healthier, more productive garden while enjoying the added benefit of fresh thyme for cooking. 5. Lavender. Lavender's soothing scent repels moths, fleas, and mosquitoes while attracting pollinators like bees and butterflies. Its essential oils contain compounds that pests find unpleasant, making it a natural barrier against unwanted insects. Lavender is especially useful around plants like roses, where it helps deter aphids, or near fruit trees to keep moths at bay. Additionally, its blooms can enhance the overall aesthetics of your garden. Lavender prefers well-drained soil with a slightly alkaline pH and full sun. Planted in areas with good air circulation, spacing plants 12 to 18 inches apart to prevent overcrowding. Regular pruning after flowering keeps the plant healthy and encourages new growth. Now let's add a splash of color with flowers that work overtime in your garden. 6. Marigold. Marigolds are a garden superstar when it comes to pest control. Their roots release a substance called alpha-terphenol, which deters harmful nematodes in the soil. Additionally, the flower's vibrant color and distinct scent repel aphids, whiteflies, and even certain beetles. Marigolds are especially beneficial when planted around tomatoes, beans, or cucumbers, protecting these crops from common pests while adding a burst of color to your garden. Marigolds thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. Sow seeds directly into the ground after the last frost or plant transplants to get a head start. Space them about 6 to 12 inches apart, depending on the variety, to ensure good air circulation and optimal growth. Deadhead spent flowers regularly to encourage continuous blooming and maintain their pest-repelling effectiveness. Nasturtiums are a fantastic addition to any garden, acting as a natural trap crop to lure pests like aphids, squash bugs, and whiteflies away from more vulnerable plants. Their bright flowers and peppery scent attract these pests, keeping them off your vegetables and ornamentals. Additionally, nasturtiums attract beneficial insects like pollinators, further boosting your garden's health. Nasturtiums thrive in poor to average, well-drained soil and prefer full sun, though they can tolerate partial shade. Sow seeds directly into the ground after the last frost, spacing them 10 to 12 inches apart. They are easy to grow and require minimal maintenance, making them ideal for beginners. Deadhead spent flowers to prolong blooming and enjoy their edible leaves and flowers in salads and garnishes. 8. Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemums contain pyrethrum, a natural insecticide that repels ants, ticks, roaches, and even lice. Pyrethrum is widely used in organic pest control products, making chrysanthemums a powerful ally in the garden. Their presence can help protect nearby plants from being overrun by pests. Chrysanthemums thrive in well-drained soil enriched with compost and prefer full sun, although they can tolerate partial shade. Plant them in the spring or early summer, spacing them 18 to 24 inches apart to allow for proper air circulation and growth. Deadhead spent blooms to encourage continuous flowering and place them strategically around garden borders or near pest-prone areas for maximum effect. 9th, calendula. Calendula is a great companion plant for gardens because it can help get rid of pests by attracting beneficial insects and repelling harmful ones. Calendula's bright flowers attract aphids, thrips, and whiteflies away from more susceptible plants. Calendula's blooms attract ladybirds, lacewings, and hoverflies, which prey on aphids. Calendula repels tomato worms, making it a valuable addition to tomato gardens, and the sticky substance on calendula leaves traps aphids. Calendula is easy to grow from seed, and you can start seeds indoors 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost. Calendula seeds germinate quickly and seedlings emerge within 5 to 10 days. For gardens that feature beans, squash, or potatoes, another great insect-repelling flower you should consider is petunias. Petunias naturally repel a range of insects that target bean plants, squash, and potato plants. They also attract hummingbirds. Plant petunias near tomato plants for optimum results. Petunias prefer full sun, at least 5 to 6 hours a day, and evenly moist soil. In hot climates, they may benefit from some afternoon shade. Petunias are less likely to be attacked by pests because their leaves are sticky. Next, did you know some veggies do double duty as pest deterrents? Here are a few to add to your garden. 11th, garlic. Garlic repels aphids, beetles, and spider mites with its pungent aroma. The strong smell of garlic can also repel moles, voles, and gophers from your garden. You can also put whole or crushed garlic directly into their tunnels. Garlic is also said to pair well with certain plants in a garden, including tomatoes, fruit trees, potatoes, cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and carrots. However, garlic may not be a good companion plant for some plants, including legumes, which may experience stunted growth. Other alliums, like onions, which may lead to a buildup of pests. And delicate-tasting crops, which may have their taste adversely affected. Plant garlic in the fall in rich, well-drained soil and harvest it the following summer. It pairs well with roses, tomatoes, and peppers. 12th, onion. Onions can be very effective as a companion plant to other crops because the strong smell helps to deter pests. The smell of onions can protect against insect pests such as aphids, as well as larger visitors to your patch like rabbits. You can plant onions around the base of tomato plants in order to deter aphids and Japanese beetles. Tomatoes and onions don't compete for nutrients in the soil. They also make good companion plants with carrots to mask the smell of the carrots and keep away carrot root fly. Other vegetables they work well with include broccoli, cabbage, shallots, cauliflower, and kale to repel cabbage loopers and other pests. Onions prefer full sun and loose, fertile soil. 13th, radish. Radishes are an excellent companion plant, serving as a sacrificial crop for flea beetles and other pests. Their fast-growing nature attracts pests that might otherwise target your leafy greens or brassicas, effectively drawing them away from your main crops. Radishes can also help break up compacted soil with their deep roots, improving soil structure for nearby plants. Radish's pungent scent can also deter some pests. Radishes thrive in cool weather and well-drained, loose soil. Sow seeds directly into the ground, spacing them about 1 inch apart in rows that are 12 inches apart. Thin seedlings to 2 to 3 inches apart once they sprout to give them room to grow. Keep the soil consistently moist for optimal growth, and harvest radishes promptly to prevent them from becoming woody. 14, leeks. Leeks are an exceptional companion plant, known for their ability to repel carrot flies and onion flies. Their mild sulfur-like aroma masks the scent of neighboring crops, making it harder for pests to locate them. This makes leeks an ideal partner for root vegetables like carrots, as well as other members of the allium family. Leeks prefer rich, well-drained soil with plenty of organic matter. Plant them in full sun for optimal growth. Start by sowing seeds indoors or directly into the soil in early spring. When transplanting, create deep holes or trenches and set the seedlings in, filling in gradually as they grow to produce long, tender stems. Space leeks about 6 inches apart in rows that are 12 inches apart. Keep the soil consistently moist and weed-free for the best results. 15, chives. Chives are a natural pest deterrent, effective against aphids, Japanese beetles, and even certain fungal infections. Their onion-like aroma masks the scent of vulnerable plants, confusing pests, and reducing infestations. Chives are especially helpful when planted near roses, tomatoes, or fruit trees, as they enhance overall garden health and protection. Chives thrive in well-drained soil and full sun, but can tolerate partial shade. They are perennials, making them a long-term addition to your garden. Plant clumps or seeds about 8 to 12 inches apart, and water regularly to keep the soil slightly moist. Regularly harvest the leaves to encourage new growth and prevent flowering, which can reduce their pest-repelling effectiveness. 16, borage. Borage is a multifunctional companion plant that offers protection and support for a variety of crops. It repels tomato hornworms and cabbage worms while attracting pollinators like bees, which are essential for fruit and vegetable production. Additionally, borage improves soil health by accumulating nutrients like potassium and calcium, which it returns to the soil when its leaves decompose. Borage thrives in rich, well-drained soil with full sun, but it can tolerate partial shade. Sow seeds directly into the ground after the last frost, spacing them 12 to 18 inches apart to allow ample room for their sprawling growth. Water consistently to keep the soil moist but not waterlogged. Borage reseeds itself easily, so you can enjoy its benefits year after year with minimal effort. Dill is a fantastic companion plant known for attracting beneficial, predatory insects like ladybugs, lacewings, and parasitic wasps, which help control aphids, spider mites, and other garden pests. Its feathery foliage also makes it an excellent habitat for pollinators. However, dill's strong aroma can also repel pests like squash bugs and cabbage moths, protecting nearby crops. It pairs well with cucumbers, onions, and brassicas, but avoid planting it near carrots as it can cross-pollinate and affect their growth. Dill thrives in well-drained soil and full sun. Sow seeds directly into the garden after the danger of frost has passed, spacing them about 12 inches apart. Dill self-seeds readily, so consider leaving a few plants to flower and go to seed for a continuous supply. Water consistently but avoid overwatering, as dill prefers slightly dry conditions. Regularly harvesting the leaves encourages healthy growth and prevents the plant from bolting too early. Fennel. Fennel is a unique companion plant with a strong licorice scent that repels pests such as slugs and snails. Additionally, fennel's tall and feathery foliage attracts beneficial insects like ladybugs and parasitic wasps, which help control aphid populations. However, fennel should be planted with caution as it releases chemical compounds into the soil that can inhibit the growth of many other plants, making it best suited for dedicated areas or as a border plant. Fennel thrives in full sun and well-drained soil. Sow seeds directly into the garden after the last frost, spacing them 12 to 18 inches apart to give the plants room to grow. Water consistently, especially during dry spells, but avoid overwatering. Allow some fennel plants to flower and produce seeds to attract even more beneficial insects and encourage reseeding for the following season. 19. Catnip. Catnip is an excellent companion plant that repels flea beetles, ants, aphids, and even squash bugs with its strong, minty aroma. Beyond pest control, catnip is also a favorite for attracting pollinators like bees, which can improve fruit and vegetable yields. Additionally, catnip's hardy nature makes it a low-maintenance option for any garden. Catnip thrives in well-drained soil and full sun, but can tolerate partial shade. Sow seeds directly into the garden or start them indoors, spacing plants about 12 to 18 inches apart. Once established, catnip is drought-tolerant and requires minimal care. Harvest the leaves regularly to encourage fresh growth and prevent the plant from becoming too woody. For best results, plant catnip along garden borders or near brassicas to protect them from pests. Tansy is a perennial herb that is commonly used in companion planting because of its pest-repelling properties. It's known for deterring certain insects, especially aphids, ants, and beetles, making it a useful plant to have in gardens to protect other plants. Plant tansy around the borders of your garden or near plants that are prone to pests. It's a good idea to place it near crops like beans, cabbage, and tomatoes, which are often attacked by pests like aphids or beetles. Tansy should be spaced about 18 to 24 inches apart, as it grows about 2 to 4 feet tall and can spread quickly. Make sure it doesn't overshadow smaller plants, as it may block sunlight. Tansy is a hardy plant that thrives in full sun and well-drained soil. It doesn't require much maintenance and is fairly drought-tolerant, making it ideal for low-maintenance gardens. Finally, let's talk about plants that draw pests away from your main crops. 21st. Sunflowers. Sunflowers are a powerful addition to your garden as a trap crop for pests like aphids and caterpillars. These towering beauties lure pests away from your main crops, protecting vegetables and other delicate plants from damage. Sunflowers also attract beneficial insects such as bees, which are essential for pollination, and birds which feed on pest insects. Their strong stems can provide natural support for climbing plants like beans or cucumbers. Sunflowers thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. Sow seeds directly into the ground after the last frost, spacing them about 6 inches apart in rows or clusters. Once seedlings emerge, thin them to 12 to 18 inches apart to give them room to grow. Water regularly, especially during dry spells, but avoid overwatering. For optimal results, plant sunflowers along the edges of your garden to act as both a natural barrier and a visual focal point. 22nd. Zinnias. Zinnias are vibrant flowers that serve as a magnet for beneficial, predatory insects like ladybugs, parasitic wasps, and lacewings. These insects feed on common garden pests such as aphids, whiteflies, and cabbage worms, keeping their populations in check. Zinnias also attract pollinators like butterflies and bees, making them an excellent choice for supporting your garden's ecosystem. Zinnias thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. Sow seeds directly into the garden after the last frost. spacing them about 6 to 12 inches apart depending on the variety. Keep the soil consistently moist but avoid overwatering, as zinnias prefer slightly dry conditions. Deadhead spent blooms regularly to encourage continuous flowering and maintain their role as a pest control ally. 23rd, mustard greens. Mustard greens are often used in companion planting because they have natural pest-repelling properties, which can help protect nearby plants from harmful insects. The pungent smell of mustard greens is thought to deter pests like aphids, cabbage worms, flea beetles, and other insect larvae. Additionally, mustard greens belong to the Brassicaceae family, which includes other plants like cabbage and kale, known for producing sulfur-containing compounds that are unattractive to pests. To use mustard greens in companion planting, you can plant them alongside crops like tomatoes, cabbage, broccoli, or cauliflower, which are often targeted by pests like aphids and caterpillars. Mustard greens can act as a natural barrier, keeping these insects away from more vulnerable plants. Planting mustard greens around the perimeter of your garden or in between rows of your vegetables can help reduce pest pressure while enhancing the overall health of the garden. The growing process is simple, as mustard greens are relatively low maintenance and thrive in well-drained soil and full to partial sunlight. They grow quickly and their leaves can be harvested for culinary use. But even without harvesting, the plant's presence serves as an effective deterrent. 24th, clover. Clover is a versatile and highly beneficial companion plant that plays multiple roles in your garden. It attracts beneficial insects like bees, which are essential for pollination, while also drawing in predatory insects that prey on pests. One of clover's most valuable attributes is its ability to fix nitrogen in the soil, enriching it for neighboring plants. This makes it an excellent choice for interplanting with vegetables that require high nitrogen levels, such as corn and leafy greens. Clover also serves as a living mulch, suppressing weeds and retaining soil moisture. Clover thrives in a wide range of conditions, but it prefers well-drained soil and full sun to partial shade. Sow clover seeds directly into the soil in early spring or fall, broadcasting them evenly over the area you want to cover. Lightly rake the soil to ensure good seed-to-soil contact and water thoroughly. Clover requires minimal maintenance and can be mowed or trimmed to control its growth and prevent it from becoming invasive. 25th, buckwheat. Buckwheat is a versatile and beneficial companion plant that serves multiple roles in your garden. It attracts pollinators like bees, which are essential for fruit and vegetable production, and predatory insects such as hoverflies and ladybugs that feed on pests like aphids and caterpillars. Buckwheat is also an excellent cover crop, known for improving soil structure and increasing organic matter when tilled under. Its fast growth helps suppress weeds, making it a valuable addition to crop rotations or interplanting systems. Buckwheat thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, but can tolerate a wide range of soil types. Sow seeds directly into the garden after the last frost, broadcasting them over the area you want to cover. Rake lightly to ensure good seed-to-soil contact and water thoroughly. Buckwheat grows quickly and is ready to flower in just a few weeks, so it can be planted multiple times throughout the growing season for continuous benefits. And there you have it, 25 incredible companion plants to naturally get rid of pests. Which ones will you add to your garden this year? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gardening tips and tricks. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy this next video on how to get rid of rabbits in your yard and garden naturally.